WCIA3's Hispanic Heritage continues now.
Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates the diversity of many cultures.
Some you can find at the University of Illinois. Demi Ramirez has more on the journey of Puerto Ricans to campus and how they have been keeping their culture alive.
Puerto Rican students have a long history at the University of Illinois. Decades ago, Puerto Rican nights at Lancer Hall were the place to be. Students would celebrate the religious Hispanic holiday, Three Kings Day.
This was an event organized by Puerto Rican students primarily, with some support from other students as well, we can assume. And this would be a night of food and music and discussion.
This is part of the University YMCA's International Supper, which later evolved into international dinners. Those are still around 30 years later.
One of the things that has been a long tradition for the last couple of generations has been our international dinners.
Illinois archives and yearbooks show Puerto Ricans have been on campus dating back to 1908 and have been waving their flag and yelling "Wepa" on campus ever since.
I think something really unique happens in that students very early on were prone to talking about where they're coming from.
That Hispanic identity could be seen through the handwritten and drawn flyers back in the 1950s. It could also be seen through the food that is served. Pasteles, arroz con gandules, delicious. Guayaba con queso and café con leche were all on the menu that night. All food and pastries many Puerto Ricans enjoyed and still enjoy to this day. Just like the love for salsa dancing and Spanish music, which was a big part of the culture.
I think the cultural nights are really exciting. And we still see them on campus today, too, right? We see the successors of these projects.
The Puerto Rican Student Association was founded in the 60s and is still active today. They continue to embrace Puerto Rican culture by hosting Latin nights and other cultural events.
You know, there's often a lot of jokes like, oh, Puerto Ricans have their flag everywhere. They have their pride everywhere. Like, people make fun of me in my phone case. Like, I rep. But for a reason, because it's a part of educating and showing why we care and why we're here.
It's something the University Y also embraces as they encourage others to understand the history and culture of Puerto Rican students.
Well, I think one of the things that's really unique about the University YMCA is for the last 100+ years, one of the main functions of the organization is to make sure that we're a welcoming campus. The differences are not something that should keep us apart, but rather bring us together and appreciate that fabric of diversity.
For Hispanic Heritage, I'm Demi Ramirez.
The YMCA used to host international dinners every week, but now it's in March every year. They're looking to do more with smaller events in hopes of creating more diversity and conversations about different cultures on campus. The U.S. Census found nearly 500,000 Latinos live just to the east of us in Indiana.
And many communities date back to the 19th century. Bershella Edme went through state archives and found out how a historian's own family tree tells the story of Latino Hoosiers.
Sometimes it's the little things that keep us rooted to our ancestors.
So we think she's from the 1930s.
A doll stitched together in the Hoosier State nearly 100 years ago.
So when we opened up the steam trunk, you know, there was a little tray and there's nothing but doll parts. So like heads, arms, and legs. And I'm like, what is this?
It was one Hoosier's act of kindness for her homeland, su patria, Mexico.
Her name was Maria Picon Reyes. Don't you forget it.
That's who took these doll parts and sewed them together for kids affected by war.
The profile is beautiful.
She's special to Indiana historian Nicole Martinez-Legrand because that's her great-great-grandmother.
Definitely made me very proud.
She was one of many Latinos who came to Indiana at the start of the 20th century.
There's push, there's pull, and there's stick. What is pushing these people out of their native homeland? What is pulling them into the United States? And what is making them stick into certain areas of our state?
As early as 1890, the census records Latinos in the U.S. By 1910, the Mexican Revolution pushed people to Indiana for safety and work.
Newspaper article Here in Indianapolis, there's 100 Mexicans living in Indianapolis. And so this article talked a lot about the Mexicans here being university students.
Education later pulled more Latinos from Mexico and Central and South America to the Hoosier state.
These would be their children.
As an Indiana Historical Society staffer, Nicole researches Latino Hoosiers and their stories.
You know, they are the American story. They are the American dream. There is my grandfather.
After 2 years of work across the state, the Lake County native discovered her own family tree, rooted in Mexico and flourished in Indiana.
And that really has deepened my sense of pride, not only to be a Latina, to be of Mexican-American heritage, but to be a Latino Hoosier.
Her great-great-grandparents settled with their kids in Indiana Harbor probably around the 1910s. Nicole's great-grandmother later married Antonio Medina. The couple welcomed a baby boy, Nicole's grandfather.
And then also you see rail lines.
Like Nicole, her great-great-grandmother was proud and invested in this community.
So literally, this is the book that helped build the church.
With this ledger and fundraising, her great-great-grandmother helped build the state's first Latino Catholic church. That was in 1927. It still stands tall today, a reminder of what Latino Hoosiers have built.
We have been here for over 100 years. Latinos in Indiana have influenced anything from legislature, education, business, pretty much in all the sectors, whether you explicitly recognize it or not.
But Nicole really hopes you do see her and know somos Hoosiers también. We're Hoosiers too.
A lot of people wanted to be heard.
Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Birchel Edmay.
As of this year, there are more than 389,000 Latinos in Indiana.
Coming up next. Born in Mexico, he pioneered a fusion of rock and roll and Latin American jazz. Carlos Santana, among others, have played their Hispanic heritage all the way to the